Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial. In today's tutorial, we're going through the Divergence Scanner Part 2, the Bullish Troughs Divergence, and the Bullish Sloping Divergence. This is the second part of the Divergence Scanner video tutorial. So in this tutorial, I'm not gonna go through the background knowledge of the divergence in technical analysis. We already covered that in the part 1 video tutorial. If you haven't watched the Divergence Scanner part 1, please go back to that video tutorial. So in today's tutorial, we focus on another pair of functions, the Bullish Troughs divergence and the Bullish Sloping Divergence. Okay, let's go into have a look over documentation page first. So I already opened our main page and browse to the trend filter documentation page. So as you can see, the first one is the Bullish Troughs divergence. Let's take a look at the definition. So the Bullish Troughs divergence, it says when the price hits lower low or equal low, but the indicator does not confirm. So we think it is the Bullish Troughs divergence. The divergence lasts longer than the more significant it is. However, until the prices eventually breaks up or down, determines the final results, which means you need a confirmation to create a trading signal. Don't make an assumption until you see the confirmation. The Bullish Troughs divergence normally happens in downtrend. Okay, so let's take a look at the example here, and like this security, as you can see, the line charts creates equal low. However, the RSI indicator keep creating the higher low, so that's the Bullish Troughs divergence. Okay, so this function, you can define these functions in the filter creation. You need the return value, so normally we're using the return values to true. That means you want to find out all equities that the prices are hitting lower lows or equal lows, but the indicators does not confirm. But if you get the return value as false, so that means you find out all the other scenarios. So we recommend you only use the return values to true combined with this function when you create the trend filters. Okay, so second one is pretty similar, but let's review the definition here. So the bullish sloping divergence, the definition is when the price is sloping down, but the indicator is sloping flat or sloping up, and we think it is a bullish divergence. The bullish sloping divergence normally happens in the downtrend, indicates a potential trend reversal that could happen in the future. So the divergence lasts longer and the more significant it is. However, until the price eventually confirms, and then don't make any assumptions, because according to our previous tutorial, we always emphasize that you cannot rely simply on this divergence phenomenon to decide to create your trading signals. So you need to combine with other type of analysis together. Same thing with the return value, always use true. That means you really want to find out all equities that the prices are sloping down, but the indicator is sloping flat or sloping up. Alright, so here's the example that's using the MACD as this indicator. So as you can see, these two arrows points down, so they're sloping down. Between those peaks and troughs, they're not creating any stopping in the middle, so it's just like smoothly sloping down. As you can see, meanwhile, in the MACD, so the MACD line, the light blue one, is sloping up. Right, so in this scenario, and that fulfills these criteria, and then you will find out in the market scan. So Okay, so that's the examples and the documentation. Let's go into our application. So in the application, I'm going to show you guys how to create this trend filters by using these functions. Okay, so following the previous video tutorial, let's just say when you want to create any trend filter, you need to go into the trend filter management by clicking the analysis menu and point to the trend filter management, and you click on that. So you open the trend filter management pane here. So when you want to create a new filters, I have already created many of them. So later I'm going to use those filters in our market scan. But I'm going to quickly show you guys how to create those filters, just in case some of you guys don't know how to do it. Right click on any nodes in this tree structure, and you will see a pop-up menu, and you click on the second one, add filter. So the add filter, once you click on that, as you can see, the trend filter management page is opened in this main workstation area. Okay, and then you need to give it a name. Let's give it a name, any name, demo 1. So in the description, you give it a description. So like any description you want to put it in. So basically, I usually just put the name if the name is meaningful, good enough to explain what is a trend, what is this trend filter is going to do. So in this case, just put the same name here. Sentiment, that's the underlying sentiment. When you create this filter, you must have some thoughts in your mind already, and the sentiment means just the flag showing the sentiment of this filter, because it's a bullish Troughs divergence. Normally put the bullish sentiment here. Once you select it, as you can see, if you double click on that, and the demo 1 trend filter turns into green color, indicates it's a bullish sentiment. Trend filter type, we are talking about a divergence scanner, so we're going to use this. So you chose the second one. Once you pick that one, so indicator type, so you want to see so the divergence scanner requires a indicator involved, because you want to see the price action has the divergence with a indicator. So in here you want to put out what indicator you want to use. For example, I want to use the unbalanced volume. I'll pick the first one. If you want to use an RSI, you pick the second one. The FSO stands for the full stochastic oscillator. Once you select the indicator type, and the next one you want to choose is the chart type, and this one is basically means, well, this trend filter is looking into a daily chart or weekly chart or monthly chart or yearly chart. So because our application is focused on the swing traders, our customer and user is the swing traders. So we don't provide the intraday data, so the minimum one is the daily chart. And for example, you're using the weekly chart, so you pick up the week in this drop down list. All right, the next one is the function. That's the function we want to use in this trend filter. Obviously, we want to pick up the Bullish Troughs divergence. That's the function we are talking about right now. So you pick that one, and return value. Default is always true. Normally, you don't want to change it. So once you finish all of those inputs or configuration, you are finished creating a trend filter by using Divergence Scanner. Okay, let's close that one. So basically what I'm going to do is to use a already created OBV and RSI Bullish Troughs divergence For example, I'm going to use this one. If I double click, so this is the one I'm going to use for the later scan. So as you can see, that's pretty much the exact same, except for the sentiment. I can just change the sentiment to bullish. That's okay. And also same with the RSI. Because you can see the indicator type here, I'm using OBV, so easy for me to view without open up. So I put this one in the title for the name. So you guys probably also want to use this method to just help you work. Okay, so the other one is the RSI Bullish Troughs Divergence right here. If I double click on that, I open it. As you can see, the only difference here is the indicator type, right? So the Bullish Troughs Divergence function is that it's the same with the OBV, but a just different one is the indicator. In this filter, I'm using the RSI indicator combined with the Divergence Scanner. So we're going to looking into the divergence between the price chart and RSI indicator. Okay, so because I'm gonna use it pretty much the same, I'm delete the first one. Well, if you want to delete a trend filter just created, what you can do is just you right click on that, you highlight that one, and you click the delete filter. All right, so you hit delete filter. As you can see, it disappeared from this tree. Okay, let's close all of those. Let's go into our market scan management. I can also turn this off. I'll turn it off. I'm just start from the scratch. Once you create all these trend filters, they're gonna be available in our market scan. If you want to do the market scan right now, you can go to analysis menu and point out the market scan management. So yeah, open the market scan management here. So it's a similar structure with the trend filters. If you want to create a new one, you right click on that and then click add market scan. Okay. Because I already have an existing one, I'm going to just show you the existing one. Let's delete this market scan by right click and select the delete market scan. You're going to delete the one. So what I'm going to use now for this demonstration is I'm going to use this Bullish Troughs Divergence combined with RSI plus OBV. Okay, I'm going to double click on that. As you can see, market scan management page is displayed. So here is some of the configuration if you want to create it from the scratch. Basically, you need to give it a name. Right now, I already gave it the Divergence RSI plus OBV. As you can see, that I will immediately know that divergence. I'm using the Divergence Scanner by combining RSI and OBV indicators. The function I'm going to use is Bullish Troughs Divergence. The name is important. Sentiment, well, it's optional, but ideally you can give it a bullish or bearish, just because if you double click on that, you can see clearly the green color is or bullish sentiment market scan. Right, and then there is a from and to. So because I already imported the Australia ASX 200 market data, so I'm going to scan on top of this market because all of the chart in this in this market, it starts from the 4th of January 2011 up to 14th of December 2021. So this is default. So you're going to scan from the beginning to the end to the latest data. But if you want to scan any dates from the start date to any date in between, so you can modify the scanned to date. So you can, for example, if you want to change a week ago, or you can specify 2 weeks ago, it doesn't matter. So you can even change the months, right? But you can't scan on a future date because you see those red dates displayed here. That means you can't choose them because that's the dates in the future. You don't have any market data. So up to now, it's actually today is 15th, but I haven't updated my data yet. So I'm gonna do it later. So for now, I'm gonna just using the 14th of December. Let's delete that one. Okay, So once you specify the front and to dates, usually you don't want to change the front dates, the to dates. You finish those, and then you double click on that all market data, because we want to tell the market scan what market you want to scan on scan. So basically double click on the stocks and S&P ASX 200, and that's your market we want to scan on it. So you double click, as you can see in the stocks. So right now you take this one into the selected market data. So you're gonna this is the market you want to scan on. Okay, and then very important thing is in this tree. So before I select anything, so that's the default, right? So it's nothing will be included in your filters. As you can see, the indicator filters and trend filters, nothing in there. But all filters in your left hand side tree. So basically you want to pick any filters into this market scan. You need to select them and double click on that, and then it goes to the right hand side of selected filters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the Bullish Troughs divergence with RSI, so that we just showed you before. Okay, so plus that one. Not only I want to see a divergence happening, bullish troughs divergence happening with the RSI indicator. I want to also see a the price actually have divergence with the OBV, unbalanced volume indicator as well. So you want to pick up another one, so which is this guy, Divergence Scanner OBV Bullish Troughs Divergence. As you can see, if you pick two of them, so all the scan will pick all the indicator, all the equities in this market fulfill these two conditions, or two filters. All right. Once I've finished all of the settings, I'm ready to go to do the market scan. Right now, as you can see, the scan result history has nothing in there because we haven't kicked off yet. If you want to start it, market scan, you need to go into analysis, the last item here. So this market scan control panel, right? So once you click on that, as you can see, all the available market scans in here. The name is here, so we need to find out our divergence RSI plus OBV Bullish Troughs Divergence, which is this guy, right? So you select the one and you click the star button, and then the market scan will kick off. So once you click on that, so there's a message box pops out and just give you a summarize and last chance to verify everything is correct before you start the actual scanning, because some of the market scan takes a long time. You really want everything is properly set up, there's no errors, or the condition is what you want exactly as you want. So let's review it. So the divergence RSI plus OBV Bullish Troughs Divergence, that's our market scan name, we just put it in, that's correct, and it will scan 4th of January 2011 to the 14th of December 2021. So that's correct. And the scan type is normal scan. That's fine. So let's take a look what the filters is going to use. As you can see, the trend filter number 1, it will use Divergence Scanner with OBV. The function it will use is Bullish Troughs Divergence. The return value is true. So that's what we want. That's correct. The second one, it will use Divergence Scanner RSI, and also it's scanning the weekly chart. The function it will use is the Bullish Troughs Divergence, and return value is true. So they're all good. If you click OK now, the market scan is start to working hard and scan the entire market, find out all the shares which fulfill these two trend filters. Okay, so once you see everything, this button enable, which means it's finished. Let's going back to the same market scan management page. So as you can see, the scan result history still nothing. That's because you haven't refreshed it yet. it's not click this button, because this button is only refresh all the settings, but you want to see the results, you need to refresh the result tree. If you click on that, so as you can see, this tree is being populated with the scanning results. So as you can see, it scans 21 December, and the date is 14th of December. And here, if you double click on that green calendar thing, the results appears in the right hand side area. So as you can see, there are 3 shares returned fulfill these conditions. There you will see OBV and RSI have the bullish troughs divergence with the price movement. Okay, let's just review the result for these 3 shares. If you want to open the chart, because we can only see from here is the overview, very brief line chart, but if you want to see the details, you highlight it and then you double click on it, the results, and you open a chart. Okay, let's double click on that, and let's see the line chart just for easy, because that starts. Okay, as you can see, because we're using OBV and RSI, let's turn on these 2 indicators. So let's open the OBV and also RSI. Okay, so let's see here, in this period of time, the price actions creating lower low, lower troughs, because, well, you know, you're creating lower troughs in the OBV. As you can see, it is creating a higher low, sorry. So that's the divergence. And meanwhile, in the RSI indicator, yes, the 30s as well, as you can see here, the RSI indicator, meanwhile, it creates the higher troughs as well. So that's the correct result. So in this particular share is fulfill this condition. Let's turn back to let's check out the candles. So as you can see, so that's the one of the results. So when this one only points to the right moment, which is the 14th of December, as you can see, it appears the double divergence for these 2 type of indicators, but it doesn't tell you this trend will turn in, the trend will reversal, the downtrend reversal, because the divergence itself doesn't give you any accurate timing. You need to combine with other analysis. For example, you want to see more information to confirm this is the trend reversal is actually happening. For example, you can use the trend line. You can draw a trend line. It breaks up from a significant trading range, etc. So I'm not going to go through those. Let's take a look at another market scan results. AZJ. Open the line chart. Same thing, we open the OBV and RSI indicator. So as you can see here, the price creating lower low. Maybe not that obvious, but it is creating a higher troughs for the OBV, and also creating a higher troughs in the RSI. Not very obvious, but yeah, it's correct. All right. So if you see and yeah, let's see, this looks like it has a falling widget trading range right here, but meanwhile the RSI have the rising widget. Yeah, so it looks like here it's creating a higher, it's in a rising widget pattern, but it breaks down again, but it creates another divergence. It's not very obvious, but yeah, slightly higher. But because the market scan will give you very precise, even though just tiny bit higher, but it will brings up to you, it's up to the user and you who will examine is that significant or not For some of those tiny changes, you might want to ignore it, but it's just up to you how you're looking into this this results. Let's take a look the last one before we jump into the next function, the NCM. Let's open up the line chart, OBV indicator, and RSI indicator. So yeah, as you can see, this is not very obvious for now. It's slightly lower, and for the indicators are slightly higher, so it's still a divergence. But the very obvious one is the first one. There's a very obvious lower troughs and higher troughs. Okay, so that's pretty much the first functions. So let's examine the second one, which is the bullish sloping divergence. Same thing. If you want to create such kind of trend filter, you right click on it and it's select add filter. Let's do another demo one. So everything pretty much the same, but this is Divergence Scanner. The different types, you still need to pick up the indicator type, but the sloping type, the bullish sloping divergence will not easy to be seen in the OBV, RSI, and FSO stochastic oscillator, because those indicator charts are zigzags, right? So they're not very smooth line. So it's because for the purpose of the demonstration, I'll pick the MACD chart type weekly. Functions that we are using now is we're going to demo the bullish sloping divergence. You select that function and return value, leave it as it is, the default is true, and then you're finished creating a trend filter by using the divergence scanner. The function you are using is bullish sloping divergence, because again I have already created one, so I'm going to delete this one because I'm just want to show you how to create them. Right click and delete that one. Okay, let's close this one as well. So now as you can see, MACD bullish sloping divergence weekly chart. I change the sentiment to bullish as well. So as you can see, this is pretty much the same as what I just showed before. We're going to use this one for the market scan and show you guys how does that work. Again, so market scans, we already have a divergence MACD bullish sloping divergence created here. So that name is wrong. Let's change it. Okay, so once you open that, and you still need to do the configuration, right? So we're going to do the same thing. We delete this result because I want you guys to see the live results for actual scan. Right, so clean up. Because the front and two, that's pretty much we want to use in the market scan. We want to scan the entire chart from the first day of the chart to the present day, the latest date of this chart. So we're not gonna touch the front and two date configuration. Again, I want to select the S&P ASX 200. Once I double click on that, it's going to the right hand side tree, which is the selected market data. Well, this defines where we want to scan. Now we want to find out what filters we want to use in this market scan. So obviously that will be our divergence MACD bullish sloping divergence. Double click on that. It goes to here. All right. So I'm not gonna show select more. So let's just observe what is happening by only using this divergence scanner. Okay. Once you finish up all the configurations, you're ready to do the market scan. Let's go into the market scan control panel again and browse. Let's find out our divergence MACD, which is this one Oh, sorry, no, that's not that one. It's this one, Divergence MACD Bullish Sloping Divergence. Okay, let's click on the star. It gives a summary, so it looks like all good. Let's click OK. So as you can see, the market scan starts. Okay, we have 13 results here. Let's go back to our market scan management. Right click on that and refresh our result tree. Right, so you can see the results coming back, and then click on it, double click on it, you will see the results. Okay, so let's just have a look at the first one, the AGL. If you double click on that, so this time you need to open the MACD indicator because we are using MACD. So because we start the date up to the 14th of December, which is the today, sorry, yesterday. So we do see a slight, the markets, the price charts have a very little bit changes here. So that's a tiny bit from the top to down. As you can see, it's not very clear here, but let's just zoom up a little bit. Because the market scanner honestly scan everything's here, so it just say that's a sloping down, right, from that peak to now. It's just very short segment here, but it's sloping down. As you can see, the MACD instead it's just sloping up. So that's what we mean, bullish sloping. Yeah, divergence. Right, it's not might be this is not a very good example, but it's the result shows the true results. So it's up to the user to review the results. You can delete all those not very obvious results. So you can filter them out before you add to those shares into your watch list. So this is another example. It's sloping down, but the MACD line sloping up. Still is not a very good example, but the result is correct just for the last 2 weeks, because it's weekly chart. 1 bar stands for 1 week, so it's still a significant time that divergence appears. Okay, so that's another one. See if you can find a better example. Let's just take a look. Let's take a look this one. Let's see if ASB doing. Still this is tiny bit. Okay, so have a look at that one. BGA. Yeah, they're all tiny bit because it's not very obvious. There is a tiny bit sloping down, but in the MACD it's sloping up. Yep. So if you see, if you're lucky and if you scan some data like that, yeah, so you will see the obvious sloping down. So for example, from here, that's MACD sloping up, but this price has multiple weeks continually going down. So you will see in the line chart of this particular security, and you see the price sloping down and MACD line sloping up. So that's a bullish sloping divergence, right? Okay, so because the purpose of the video tutorial is just tell you guys how to set up things and how to do the market scan, and you will be using those things, combining with other type of filters together to get all the results that you want to see. Okay, so because I'm not sure if there's anything else I want to show you guys, but yeah, so I think this is pretty much the the contents of this tutorial. For the confirmation part, if you see, because you cannot rely on a divergence alone to decide whether it's a buying opportunity or not, and you really want to see the confirmation. The confirmations means, like this one, you need to see a breakout from this trading pattern. This is like falling trading range for the widget here, and here is you want to see the trend line break. Also, you can see this because this one's different. This one is heating up because price is approaching to a very significant support level. So this probably indicated a good the confirmation. It will requires a little bit. For example, this one is like, you know, it's very approaching to the support level. If you put here, so you can see it's in the support level, and you see a divergence happening here. For example, for the confirmation, you also want to see the trend lines being break up. For example, that one, so it looks like it's failed. Okay, that could be the trend line. You have to join like that. So if it's price bouncing above this trend line, and then that is bouncing back to this trend line and forming another, for example, a W button right here, and all sorts of confirmation. So you need to find out from this the other technical analysis to combine the results of the Bullish Troughs divergence to generate the buying signal. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything from the this tutorial. I hope you guys feel this content is helpful when you're using this application. If you do have any questions, please leave your comments below, and our staff or team members will try our best to answer your questions. Okay, thanks for your time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.